Okay, right. This is very important that you do this. I've got my torque spanner alongside your wheel at the moment.
A what?
Torque spanner, right? What that will do is make sure it's the correct pressure on the wheel nut. You can just use a wheel nut brace if you want to, just to check to make sure they are tight. A wheel nut spanner, a torque spanner is better because that will give you the correct pressure it needs to be on.
How do you know what it is?
Well, it tells you in your handbook, so it's 130 newton meters. On a torque spanner, you can see that there. I haven't actually set it, so it may be incorrect. No, I've got 115 on it, which is the last one I've just done. So on here, look, it's got 126. I just have to put it onto 4, so that's onto the 130, which is the correct pressure. Okay, I will check this before you go anyway. But
I don't really understand what you mean.
Once it leaves here, it's obviously your responsibility to make sure you are checking it. Okay. Yeah, obviously the reason why is obviously you don't want wheels coming off. You never know.
So I don't understand how you.
How do you check it?
How do you check it? I know that sounds like a really dummy question, but
No. Obviously you've never done it before. So what I have to do is set that first.
we need to get one of these.
So the types may vary, but I have to bring 0 to 126. Then I have to add on the 4 to make it up to 130. Lock that off. And all you do, this will click to say that's the correct pressure.
Okay, so that's what
Okay.
happens. When it's the correct
Yeah.
pressure, it clicks.
Yeah.
That's what I need to know. Yep.
Right?
Well,
if
you
it is-
tighten.
If it's someone's too tight, obviously it'll click. It'll just tighten too tight. If it's not tight enough, it'll just keep turning until
Until
it
it
tightens.
does click.
Okay. But if you check it regularly, shouldn't be any problem. But make sure you are checking regularly. At least with just an ordinary spanner, just making sure which is a wheel nut spanner, which is in your foot.
We need one of them when it clicks.
Okay.
Okay.
Happy so far?
Yeah.
Yep. Right. If you want to go inside, I'll show you. Just here by the door is your control panel. Just get my slippers on. Right. If you can come down here. So everything works. There's all sorts of 12-volt systems involved in the caravan and how that operates. So you need to switch the master switch on, which is this one here, to operate the 12 volts. If you have a look around now, obviously you've got sea lights on and whatever. That's running off 12 volts at the moment, which is coming through plus through the 240 system as well. So master switch is that there. So master switch off. You can see everything's gone off now. So when you come to use your van, you need to switch it on, which is that button there. So it says master
So
on.
once everything's done outside, you come in, you
Yeah.
turn around and you put that button on.
That's it. Okay, so you switch that on. Don't switch the water pump on straight away. And the reason for that is, if you see when the sink is obviously packed away. So if you switch the water pump on now, and that was open for drainage, you're going to have water not where you want it. So before you switch the water pump on, make sure that is obviously correct. Same as your bathroom, make sure they're all shut off as well. You don't want any water coming out where you don't want it. And just underneath here is your drainage points for your. As if they're not going to know who you are. But right, underneath here, oops, sorry, that's your boiler. Okay, and it's also your heater as well.
Okay.
And you see these two switches down here, these two lever switches. That one and that one.
Yeah.
That's your drain for your water system. Okay,
Right.
so red, hot, blue, cold. So they need to be in that position before you start getting water in. If you don't, and they're up in the upright position, all the water from mackerel is just going to go on the ground outside and flood your pitch. Okay?
Okay.
So make sure you're at that position before we start putting the water pump on.
So flat before you start.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay? Right, back to the control panel now. So we've checked all the taps, make sure they're all closed and in the correct position. Pump. Oh, obviously I had the pump running. Pump on. Okay, so pump's on now. What we're now going to do, if you drain the system prior, so since coming back from, say, last time we went out, what you need to do is get the air out the system. Okay, so what you do is operate on the cold side. I don't know if you can see that, there's a blue and a cold on the blue and red on that. So open the cold side first. You'll probably find that you'll normally get lots of air coming through there. Okay, I have primed it already, but obviously I pulled the pump out, so a bit more air is coming through. So always do it on the cold side first. Once you've got a solid stream like that, turn it to the hot side. Again, open it up. So imagine that hot water tank, which is in the corner there, that is about a 10 litre capacity. Okay, so if you drained it before, it's now going to have 10 litres of air in there. So that air, we need to get that air out, which is going to come out through this tap and fill it up with water. So that's all you do. Just open it up on the hot side until you get a solid stream like that. Hot water tank's full. Okay. What you need to do also is do the same with the other taps. Okay.
Okay.
You just see the pump go off then. So it's the water will switch itself off. So the pump outside will switch itself off because it's pressurised. So as soon as you shut the tap off, the pump will stop. Okay, as long as you've got all the air out.
What about the shower?
The shower's exactly the same. So it's just a mixer tap working on the same system.
Okay.
Okay. After
Yep.
that,
Yep.
good. So once you've got water in, we can heat the water, or we can heat the room. Well, you can heat the room without water being in there, but that's what the stage you normally go through. So we'll get your water set up first, then we get the heating system up and running on the water heating. Right. So this control panel here, where everybody's sitting. So switch the panel on. So that's the on-off button there. So you see it's green, it's obviously on.
Yep.
So that's off. If you see when you switch it off, it's flashing like that. It's on a cool down phase. So make sure it's cold before you leave it. Okay. So to switch it on, obviously there's that button there. On your control panel now, it's showing obviously the make. Normally you'll find the timers in there as well. Room temperature is the top left. Heating, so it's 21 degrees. EG is electric and gas, is what the energy it's using. Water temperature, 60 degrees. It's flashing like that now because the water temperature hasn't reached, or it hasn't reached that temperature yet.
Okay, so it becomes static when it...
Yeah, that's it. So it'll stop flashing when it reaches that temperature. Okay, so if I want to change anything, press that, and you see the screen's gone to sleep. Lights it up. So heating, you see winter in brackets. I'll show you how to change that to summer if you really need to, but you don't really need to anyway. But so temperature of your room.
No, it'd be going the other way normally.
Yeah. So lowest it'll go is 5.
Yeah.
Okay.
Why you'd want that, I don't know.
No, I don't know why. Well, if you say you've got it set up at home and you want to just keep it warm or aired out during the winter, so maximum 30. Okay. It is thermostatically controlled, so the fan will only come on. You might just hear the fan coming on now because I don't particularly want to be tuning out to 30 degrees, and then obviously set. Okay. So heating 20 degrees. Next one is your energy. So you've got a few options on this one. Again, it says winter in brackets. Again, I'll show you what the difference is when I set it to summer. Okay, so whatever's highlighted is what the option you're running on. Okay, the arrow is the one you want if you want to change anything. Obviously, after a few seconds, it goes back to the main control panel. Right, so we've got options of electric. So there's 2 options on electric. Gas alone, electric and gas, which is on at the moment, and electric and gas, which is higher and lower electric. Okay, so the difference between all these, not that you need to know too much, but you got higher and lower electric, which is around about 900 watts low, 1800 watts high. Okay, so 1800 watts or 1.8 kilowatts is not a massive amount of electric if you think that unit in the corner is trying to heat water and this room.
So what would be the normal thing that you'd have it on?
Yeah, it all depends on what time of year it is. If it's now, like you could just put it on electric 2, which will be efficient enough to warm your water. Likelihood of needed heating is rare, isn't it, at this time of year? You may need it a bit at night time when obviously it chills a bit during the summer. So that's more of a summer setting. Okay, if you want to use it obviously in the winter, so electric and gas maybe, or gas alone. Most people don't tend to like using their gas because it obviously costs money. If you obviously going on a pitch, you pay for the pitch, you get the electric with it.
So what would you go with, the one with the 4 or the 8?
Right, so your 4 amp, obviously that's your lower electric, which is round about 900 watts. 900 watts is not very big.
So would you normally use 8?
You imagine a kettle is about 2 kilowatts.
Yeah.
Your normal domestic kettle. So the higher one, is under that. Wrong one. So the higher one is lower than 2 kilowatts.
Yeah.
Yeah. So in the summer, yeah, I would say. So got the arrow in line with the 8 amp one.
Yeah.
Click on that. It's now run on just electric.
Yeah.
So it's got E. So that should be sufficient enough to heat your water. Okay. In the winter, I would likely to put a mix of electric and gas.
Yeah. On 8.
Yeah.
The 8 one. Yeah.
That's it. What it will do is use both energies to get it up to temperature. And once it's got up to temperature, it will just carry on running on the electric unless there's a significant drop in temperature. So if you use all your hot water or it obviously gets cold because someone's left the door open, then the gas will come back in. So it's not constantly on gas unless you just put it on gas. So obviously it just runs on gas then. Okay?
Yeah.
Happy with that bit? Next one along is your water heating. So in the winter setting, again we've got winter in brackets, you've either got the options of off, which is 0 degrees, or water, which is 60 degrees. Okay? In winter, that's the options you've got.
Right.
Okay?
Okay.
Happy with that bit?
Yeah.
Right. There is further menu on it. If I press the set button across here, so it comes up with a further menu now. So we've got timers. We've got a couple of timers. If you can see now, we've got summer, winter setting. Okay, if I bring the arrow down to in line with that, that's summer. So if I go back now and show you what the difference is on these settings. So if you see on this main screen now, it's showing a little sun icon on the heating. If I press the heating button, there's no heating available. So if you put it to summer setting, it won't give you the option to heat. It'll just give you water setting. Energy, it gives you less options. So if you remember I said about the electric's probably more of a summer version anyway. Again, it's summer in brackets. It's only giving you options of electric, 1 or 2, or the gas powered if you haven't got any electric. And if you look on the water heating, it's now giving me an option of 40 or 60.
Okay.
So you may not need as much heat in that water tank because the water's already warm because of the weather anyway.
Yeah.
Okay, but most of the time I would just leave it on
Winter.
on the winter setting because you just turn the heating down anyway. Okay, so got a clock set. So if I just set that for you, so we got hours and minutes. What are we on now? 16. So once your clock is set, look at that. Yeah. So the clock is set. Go back to that now. It will allow to put a timer on or off as well. If you haven't got the clock set, it won't let you do any timers, obviously.
Alright.
So if I scroll it further down, so if that is just switching timer on or off, you need to set the timer if you want to obviously switch the timer on. So you've got options of 2 timers. I don't know if you want me to go into depth with that one or not. Or,
No.
but
Don't worry.
yeah. Also, you can switch the buzzer on and off, which is off at the moment. Backlight. No. Back to that. Okay. Are you happy with this? So to
Yeah.
set your heating,
Yeah.
press that. You can change the temperature up or down. The fan will only come on. I don't know if I mentioned this. The fan will only come on when it needs to boost the heat. So I've done a few of these today, remembering what I've told and what happened. So the fan will only come on when it needs to boost the heat, the temperature of the room. Okay, so if it's say 25 degrees and I wanted to get up to 26 degrees, the likelihood of the fans coming on, unless it drops before it comes back up again, is quite remote. If I say that in the winter you come into your van, it's 4 degrees and I want to get it up to 30, then obviously the fan will come on and boost it up to that. Okay, and then when the fan reaches that, or the temperature reaches that, the fan will go off.
Okay.
So it only comes on when it needs it. Okay, so heating, energy, so you happy with that, yeah?
Yeah.
And water heating. Okay? Yeah. So you're likely to want your fridge actually working.
Sorry, that's
So a little tiny button there switches it on.
right.
So you just press and hold that. It's got a memory on it, so it'll try and remember what it was running on last time. So it's running on gas. Can you see that?
Yeah.
If I want to change the energy, press the left button. So that's running on electric now.
Right.
And I can also run it on 12 volts. That is not the leisure battery, it's the 12 volts coming from your car. So as long as you've got that connected on your car, when you're travelling, it will send power from your car to your fridge. You don't need the on button on there. You don't need the master switch on. All you do is switch your fridge on. And as long as you're connected to your car and your engine's running, it will provide direct power to your fridge. Okay? It will not cool the fridge down. It will just maintain the temperature. So if you can cool the fridge down before you travel using electric or gas, then that will maintain the temperature as long as you're not opening and shutting the door. Okay?
Okay.
If you're in storage, obviously it's a bit more difficult. But my wife tends to freeze chili or something like that and put that in and use it like a cooler box while we're travelling. And then obviously that's defrosting the chili as we're going. So just put the essentials in like milk or whatever else you might want in the
We
fridge.
won't put anything in it, will we?
No?
Until we get there.
Alright. Yeah, 'cause there's always shops
Yeah.
close by anyway. Okay? Right, if you can see that there now, see the blue light flashing?
Yeah.
That's a failure. Spanner there as well. What that means is that the energy that obviously I'm asking it to use is not there.